Hello, wonderful. It is Sarah K Ramsey, and I'm here to talk about why you're always saying I'm sorry or explaining yourself, which I did a post on this recently in this group, and it was all these people like, yes, that's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. So toxic people get you to feel like everything is your fault, because if everything is your fault, then everything is not their fault. And this is especially the case if you've had a controlling parent, but it could also be the case of a controlling sibling who does this to you, or definitely a controlling partner if you've experienced that. And so they are great at the blame game. They can flip everything around and make it feel like everything is your fault. And my guess is that when you think of love, you think of the word connection rather than thinking about the word control. Okay? And so when you are thinking about connection versus control, you're willing to apologize for things. No, it's not that big of a deal. I can, I'm more worried about the relationship than I am about being right. I'm the type of person I like to practice forgiveness, all those sorts of things, which are normally awesome qualities, but can really be used against you in a toxic relationship and leave you always explaining yourself. Because so many times, and I wrote an article on this, which one of you guys posted about, and saying so many times people say you have a communication problem when you actually have a control problem. Someone is trying to control you and muddy the communication, and you keep trying to communicate more and more and more clearly because you think there's a communication problem. You think if I say it the right way, they'll understand. You think if they only know how I really feel, then they'll love me. If I only can say the right words, and I'll be the right daughter, or be the right wife, or be the right mother, or whatever else it is, then you think it's a communication problem, when in reality, they are in control and they can muddy the communication. They don't want to hear you. I talk about some people have ears to hear, and the best thing to do is find people in your life with ears to hear. And I understand that's incredibly difficult when you're talking about setting boundaries with someone you love, a family member, a best friend, adult child, any of those things. I recognize how complicated that is, and that's for a different video. But today I want to talk about why you explain yourself, because you have thought for years you had a communication problem. So you thought if you communicated differently that the relationship would be different, but they were in control. And they wanted to keep that control. Some people think of love as control. It's not about communication. It's not about a partnership. It's about getting their way. And that they can play the hero and tell you what to do, or they can play the victim and get you to do the work of the relationship for them. But either way, you are doing the work of the relationship. You are doing the work of communicating, and you are doing the work of explaining yourself and apologizing. So then you go forth in normal life, and you're always, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Oh, I'm so sorry. And even when I'm doing the executive training in Dallas, one of the things she's helped train women CEOs and whatnot, and she says, even if you're late doing a message, don't apologize, because women's guilt centers in their brain is already overactivated. And so we apologize too much anyway. Even if you've not been in a toxic relationship, you apologize too much. But especially those of us who have been in a toxic relationship. I hope you can't hear that lady talking. She moved up as I was doing this. For those of us who have been in a toxic relationship, then we get in the habit of apologizing for things that we didn't do because we want to keep that connection, because we're more worried about the relationship than being right. Which, if you're with another person who's doing that, it's a great quality. If you're with someone who's trying to control you, it gets really muddy. So the CEO trainer suggested when you were late or something, saying thank you for your patience rather than I'm sorry. Because when you start saying I'm sorry, when it's not really a situation, if you mess up and something's happened, apologize. We want to be people of integrity and apologize. But if you're just saying I'm sorry out of habit, catch yourself and see if there are other words you can use, such as thank you for your patience, such as oh, thank you for waiting on me, such as thank you for considering me, or oh, thank you for listening to me. Those things, rather than oh, I'm so sorry I bothered you, I'm so sorry, because it's very noticeable, and it is never a sign of confidence. And it's not something that, if you're wanting people to respect you, whether it be a partner or anyone else, it is not something that's going to help you raise up in their eyes. They're going to see it as a sign they can take advantage of you, okay? There's my battery thing. So apparently it's time for me to go. Have a great day, and I'll try to do another live later today. Hope you stay healthy. Bye.